Alright, so I want to make the most basic of modding tutorials. It's not necessarily modding, but we're going to learn the idea of looking into the folder structure of the game. These really basic mods that just involve images and sound files. Just to get people used to the idea of messing with their game folder, their game files, so that you can begin to get into things like the GEC. For these two sort of mods, you call them mods, that we want to do. Right now I'm just looking at where they are. So if I want to change the main menu music, you go into your game folder, go to data, sound, was it sound, music, special, and there's main title. So that's it right there. And this, because I'm using MO2, this is my Steam folder. That will be the vanilla one. And then if I go into my MO2 with the virtual folder, that's where my mod is. And that's where my modded version of that will be. For the texture to replace the main menu, you have to create a texture folder. And this is something you'll see. So that's not in the vanilla because all their textures are in these BSAs. But if you were to mod it, you'd create a texture folder and it'll look like this. So I'm going to click on the one that changes my main menu. Right click, go to open and explore. And you'll see that it's in our mods for MO2, but it's a texture file. And if we go there, textures, interface, main background.dds. And this is actually a mod that I made, again, if you want to call it a mod. It's literally a black square, a rectangle, and that's what my background is, just for simplicity's sake. And you can do that with basically any image. And of course you can put basically any song on your main menu, and that's what we're going to try to do today for our first quote modding experience. Now if I want to do that, it would just be easier if I could take somebody else's mod structure. Let me actually go back, and if I want to look at somebody's mod structure, I'm going to do preview file contents, and what are we going to see? Oh, look at that. Textures, interface, it's the same thing. Is this exactly what I did when I did it? Yes. I just stole somebody's file structure because they already did it better than I could probably try to do it on my own, as simple as it is. So might as well just steal their file structure. Let's look at these preview file contents. What do we have here? So data, music. See, this one is cool because it has 3 versions, but when we do it, we're just going to name this part our mod, do the song name you want. And then data, music, special, you delete all these ones. And then we can do any song we want, practically. So we have these 2 mods that we're going to steal the file structure from. And luckily my downloads is actually clean right now. I'm just going to do extract here. Extract here. Now again, if you were to manually install, this is something we had to basically do back in the day before the managers. This is what you would do. You would just drag this thing right in. This is something we do with some of the more simple engine fixes, stuff like NVSC. You would just drag this straight in and you would overwrite everything. And that's why it would become a problem. You'd have to verify your files when you wanted to get rid of it, etc., etc. So right away, I only want to change the main. So for this structure that I'm stealing, I'm going to delete loading. And like I said earlier, with this, I'm going to delete these 2. My song. There goes data. Yeah, that's good. And this actually probably needs to be in a folder, I'd reckon. And then you make that the folder. Yeah, so let's do my menu. And then put that in there. whenever you make something like this, you need the folder structure to start from data. When you're in MO2, you'll click something and set it as data. Hopefully we do it right to where we don't have to go up or down and try to set it as data. Like with this, I think that'll work. And with this one, I think I did it wrong. Go straight to textures. I want it to go, I think I want this to be data. My menu, and maybe that'll work better. Because I do know with that mod, I have the issue of, it's not an issue, but because there's 3 versions, you have to manually set the data. So that's how your structure should look. You click, it goes data, and then it goes to the next thing, whatever it is. Music for that one, textures for this one. So now we have to find a new song and find a new image. Let me take a second to do that. All right, that took way longer than it should have, but yeah, Google sucks these days. So we found some stuff that is Angela related for the person who this video is for. There's a song named Angela. Not really my genre, but it's a decent song. And then we got a little Angela from The Office here. Now, the song is easy because the game will accept an MP3 file. It'll accept a WAV file, it'll accept a ton of different sound files. I don't know. I don't think it'll accept JPEG. It might, but just to be consistent and safe, we need to use the file format that all the other textures use, which is DDS. There are a few ways, a few platforms to do it. I don't think you can, just type it. I mean, it's saying it is, but I don't know. Maybe Windows is able to do that, but I'm going to show you the method I use just to make it clear. And before we do that, let's do copy paste. It was called like main, was it title or mint? Main title with no spaces. Okay, so we took our Angela file, we made a copy of it, and we renamed it maintitle.mp3. And we'll handle that in a second, but I want to get this done real quick. All I did was open it up in GIMP, not necessarily doing anything interesting here. We already have it at, it needs to be your screen size or whatever, 19 by 1080. 1080. We're going to go right to export. And we're going to do the same thing that we did earlier. We're going to do .dds. See if it auto recognizes that. It did say specifically export as DDS. And that looks more familiar. There isn't a preview. And then let's find out what the name for that one was. main_background. And we'll get rid of this just because we don't necessarily have something for that. main_background. main_background. So right here we have 2 modded files. We have our Angela background picture. And then we have our nice song by the Lumineers, and it's in a format that'll work for these. So I want to do new window so I can quickly Ugh. I messed it up. Replace the file. Hopefully that works. We'll see if it doesn't. Maybe I messed something up. And then we'll go to our song one. Again, we have main title. And it should match up to where it has to replace it. Replace the file. And so now, I want to give these names that are easy to recognize. Let's just do Angela Song and Angela Background. And now we need to zip these up. I'm going to be using WinRAR for this. Add to archive. There's song. Add to archive. There's the background. And now we have to test it. I'm going to test it on my actual game here because these are very simple mods. They'll just overwrite things that I have. Let's see if our file structure was good. We're going to go background, open OK, and let's see a good tasty overwrite. Look at that. Overwriting what NMC does to it, and then my older mod. And we have our song, and this should overwrite the dust. All right. And of course, there's no ESP. There's nothing scripted about these. We're literally changing one photo and one sound file. Let's run it. I'm a bit worried about the background. There we have it, Angela. Your own personal Fallout New Vegas.
When you left this town with your windows down in the wilderness inside.
All right, that's that. I'm gonna remove those because I'm not Angela. I can't be I'd have to make a different one for my name. I just like using the Begin Again song from the game itself. That's nice. So I hope this gives you the idea of what people are doing. Obviously, when people are getting into much more complicated things like making their own textures and meshes and then creating different stuff and then exporting it in GEC to make a plugin that has scripts, that's not something I can teach you. But I just wanted to get you understanding the idea of mods that you can do. And then there are other things in the game that are like that. I have done this mod that happened to be, it was just an image as well. What shows up as house in the game isn't like a super complex texture or whatever. It's literally an image, and it probably like runs some kind of mesh over it to give it the look of like a screen or whatever. So yeah, same idea. Modded houses, little computer image, just by making, a standard photo in Photoshop or like Microsoft Paint or GIMP like we had used earlier. All right, I hope that gets you into modding, not just downloading mods and improving your game, but personalizing it. Personalize your main menu. Maybe even throw your face up on house's screen. Maybe for when it's Yes Man, you find that file. You can usually find another mod that changes it and do the same thing. You steal their folder structure so you know where to go, what you're doing, and just put a selfie up there. Boom. That's you modding the game. All right. Good luck, guys. Have fun.